Hi, what's up guys? Are you ready for something new? Okay, so today I would like to show you how to implement exit Ionic application when you press hardware back button. I'm going to show you three different scenarios because each of them may be useful for you. So let's start from the first example. The first example is we are going to exit Android application when when we are on our home page and we press hardware back button once. The second scenario is an extended version of the first one, but with little difference. The difference is that when we press the back button once, we are going to show some kind of confirmation pop-up with message like do you really want to exit the application? And then when we press OK, we will exit the application. The third example is very useful one, I think. It's we are going to exit Android application only when we are on our home page and we press hardware back button twice within, let's say, 2 seconds. Okay, so if you are ready, we can start our example. I'm going to create new Ionic project. Now let's open Visual Studio Code. Let's open terminal and let's go to my workspace. Stream Ionic examples, and let's start new Ionic project. Ionic start. Let's call it back button exit up. Oh, I made a typo. Back button Ionic up. Okay, let's choose Angular as a framework and let's choose a blank project template. I'm going to create a sample application. Consists of let's say 2 pages. The first one will be the standard one, I mean home page, and I'm going to create another one called, let's say, contact page. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to do navigation between those pages, and after that I'm going to run the project as an Android application. Okay, my project was created, so let's open it. Okay, let's go to the project folder and let's open it. Now I'm going to add an Android platform to my project, and then I'm going to run it in Android Studio. Before we add Android to our project, we have to build it first. So let's call it Ionic build. Okay, my project was built successfully. So now it's time to add Android platform to my project. So let's call Ionic capacitor add Android. This operation takes about a minute, so you should be patient. Android platform was added to my project successfully, so now we are ready to open it in Android Studio and then to run it in emulator. So let's call Ionic capacitor run Android, and let's add two more flags. The first one -L, which means live reload, and the second one called external, which means that the content of our application will be served from the server located on my PC. Okay, I'm going to choose my Wi-Fi network because in some cases I want to, especially when I use physical device connected to Android Studio, I wanted to connect from this device through my Wi-Fi router located in my flat. So I usually choose the second option. Now we are ready to run our Android application in emulator. As you can see, the application was started successfully. So now it's time to create another page called contact page. So Ionic generate page contact. Okay, let's open my home page, and let's say let's add Ion button here with navigation to a contact page. Go contact page. We can do navigation through router link property. /contact. Okay. As you can see, live reload works. So that's why our page was reloaded. Okay, and let's go to contact page, and let's add Ion button with router link set to home page. Okay, let's wait for reloading. Okay, and let's test our application. So go to contact page. As you can see, okay, I'm on contact page, but I forgot to add link test. So text. So go to home page. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the title of the first page from blank to home. Okay, so home and contact. Okay, let's check it again. So as you can see, we are on contact page. We can click go to home page, go to contact page, go to home page. So everything works. Now, what we are going to do next is we are going to achieve the behavior that when we are on contact page and we press back button, we exit the application. Okay, so let's create a new service called back button service. So Ionic generate service slash back button service. Okay, so let's open it. We are ready to implement our first scenario. As you remember, the first scenario is to exit Ionic application when we press back button once. First of all, let's prepare some init method in our service. And what we are going to do in init method is we need to subscribe to back button callback. So let me show you how to do this. We need to have access to platform, and then in init method we have to call this platform back button subscribe with priority, and let's subscribe with priority 10, and let's add some callback here. And what we are going to do here is when someone press back button, the callback will be fired. So what we want to do here is just we want to exit our application. Okay, we can do this by calling something like navigator get application, and we need to call exit app on it. Okay, let's save all changes, and we need to call this init method somewhere from the code. I think that the best choice to do this, the best place to do this is our app component. So let's go to app component, and here let's inject our service private back button service, and when the platform is ready you can just call this back button service init. Okay, file. I saved all the changes, and now we are ready to test our application. Okay, so let's go to contact page, and when I click back button the application should close. Yeah, as you can see, everything works. Like harm? No, not everything. As you could see, I was able to exit the application from contact page, but I wanted to do this only from my home page. So let me show you one more time. When I go to I'm on contact page, and when I press back button, I want to standard behavior on that page. So what can I do here is that instead of calling exit app here, I would like to get my current URL at first. So I can do this by calling const current URL equals I need to have access to router, so private router, and I can get current URL from this router. This router .url. Okay, and now I can check if my current URL equals /home, and if it equals home, I wanted to perform exit application. In other case, I would like to perform standard navigation. To perform standard back navigation, I need to have an access to nav controller. Private nav controller. Okay, and now I can call this nav controller dot just back. Okay, I saved all changes. So let's restart our application to check the results. As you can see, when I go to contact page and I click back, I should go back to home page. As you can see, I get back to my home page, so everything works perfect. And now let's try to exit our application by clicking back button one more time, and as you can see, I quit the application. So we finished our first example. Now it's time to implement the second scenario. It means instead of exiting application immediately, we want to show some confirmation pop-up, and then we wanted to when we click OK on it, then we want to exit application. In other case, we want to get back to home page. To show confirmation pop-up on the screen, we need to have an access to alert controller. So let's add it here. And instead of calling navigator app exit app, we want to create alert with message, do you really want to exit the application? So let's do this here. Equals this alert controller create, and let's create alert with message, do you really want to exit? We want to have two buttons here. Buttons, okay. Okay, we want to have one button with text, let's say cancel, control cancel, and have another button with text exit. Okay, and let's add some handler, and here we put our exit application code in this handler. Okay, at the end we need to just show our alert, so await alert present. Sorry, I need to I need to add await because this alert controller create method returns promise, so I need to add await keywords to wait for creation of alert. And I also have to add async keyword here to make this callback async. Okay, that's all. I think that we are ready for test. So I saved all files, and let's open Android Studio. Let's restart our application. And let's test the behavior. As you can see, I got the message. I got pop-up. Do you really want to exit? Cancel. So nothing happened. And when I click exit, my application stopped. So as you can see, everything works like a charm. What we can do now is that we can move this this method outside our init method to make it more reusable. So let's create a method called with alert. And let's pass here two methods, two arguments. The first one is message, string, and action. Let's say that's the default action. Okay, and let's make it async. And what we are going here is we just want to move whole code from here to here. Let me from alert create to await present. Okay, and we are going to pass the message from the parameter to the message as a message of alert, and instead of exit we just rename it to okay. And instead of this handler we can just pass our action. Okay, and now we can replace all of this code just via all of this code just via this with alert and do you want to exit and action. And that's all. Now everything should works. So let's test it. As you can see, I got the message, and yeah, everything works perfect. So now it's time to implement the third example. As I told you, the third example is I would like to implement the behavior that we exit the application only when I press back button twice within let's say 2 seconds. So how I can achieve it? I'm going to create another method called very similar to the with alert method. Let's call it. It's also async, and let's call it with double press. With double press, and this method will have the same parameters as that method, and I'm going to introduce two variables. Let's create a first variable called last time back button was pressed, and let's set it to 0. This variable will store a number of milliseconds from the beginning of epoch when the last time when the back button was pressed, and we need another. Okay, so let's create a private variable, maybe time period of action, maybe to action, time period to action. Okay, and I will set it to 200 milliseconds. This is the time that when I press it's a time when I press the back button one more time. Within those seconds the action will perform. So let me, okay, and now we are ready to implement this method. So let's prepare a constant with current time. So current time equals new date get time. This function get time returns the number of milliseconds from the beginning of epoch. So if current time is less than this last time back button was pressed, or maybe if current time minus last back button was pressed is less than this time period to action. So I should perform action here. If not, I'm going to create toast message here, and then I'm going to save to store current time in as last time that back button was pressed. Okay, and the last thing which I have to implement is to show toast message here. Okay, to show toast message I need to add toast controller here. toast. Oh, maybe this toast controller. Create. Okay. Message, and toast equals await, because create function is returns a promise, so I need to await for it, and then I need to await for showing toast. Not show, but present. Yes. Okay, and the last thing what I want to do is, instead of calling method with alert, I would like to call my new method, which is this, with double press and with the message press one more, press again, let's say, to exit. And the action is this. Okay, now we are ready to make a test. I ensured that all of the changes was saved. So now we can go to Android Studio, rerun the application, and we can go to contact page. When we press the back button, we should be navigated to the home page. So as you can see, everything worked perfect for now. And when I press back button for the first time, toast message should appear. As you can see, press again to exit. And okay, it's a very long message. We can do one more thing. We can change the duration of the message here to 200 milliseconds. Or maybe not 200, but to this time period to action. Okay, when I press, when I save, application is reloaded, and when I press back button, toast message should appear for 2 seconds, and when I press double time, within 2 seconds I quit the application. So as you can see, everything works perfect. That's all what I have for you in this video. If you don't want to miss any further videos like this, you can just subscribe to my channel. And so thank you for watching, and see you next time.